The city never slept, but neither did Amara. Every night, she lay on the cold, rough pavement, the hard concrete pressing against her small body. The wind cut through her thin, worn-out shawl, and the distant sounds of cars felt like a cruel lullaby. At 23, Amara's life had been nothing but struggle, hard enough to make her strong, but never strong enough to take away her kindness. By day, she worked as a maid in a big apartment building. Her hands were rough from scrubbing floors and washing dishes, her uniform always stained, her shoes almost worn out. She moved quietly through the hallways, seeing everything but giving nothing away. No one knew of the nights she spent shivering outside, except for the stray cat that sometimes curled up next to her for warmth. One evening, after a long day of cleaning, Amara found herself on a quiet street near the city's business area. The city lights shone bright like thousands of stars, mocking her poverty silently. She had curled up near a doorway when she heard footsteps. Looking up, she saw a man, dressed very sharply, carrying himself with calm and authority. His eyes were kind and soft as they fell on her. "Are you sleeping here?" he asked, surprised but gentle. Amara wanted to disappear, to hide. It's nothing," she whispered. "It does not look like nothing," he said softly. There was no judgment in his voice, only concern that made her heart beat faster. He introduced himself as Alexander Cole, a rich businessman known for his charity work. Most people in his world would never even notice someone like Amara. But Alexander was different. He knelt down to her level, looking her straight in the eyes without being scary. "Why are you out here alone?" he asked. Amara paused. Trust did not come easily for someone like her. But something about him, the way he cared, made her speak. She told him a story, how her parents died, the struggles to find work, the cold nights and empty stomachs, the endless cycle of hard jobs that barely kept her alive. Alexander listened quietly, taking in every word. When she finished, he pulled an envelope from his pocket. "For food, for tonight," he said. "And maybe something more." She looked at it, overwhelmed. I can't take this," she said. "You can," he said gently. "No one should have to live like this if it can be helped." In the weeks that followed, Alexander returned, giving her meals and friendship. He treated her like a human being, not a charity case. Slowly, Amara's walls started to fall. For the first time in years, she laughed freely, and the fear that had lived inside her began to fade. One evening, as they walked in a garden on top of one of his buildings, Alexander turned to her. "Amara, I see your strength, your kindness, the way you care even when life has been harsh. I want to build a life with you, not as someone saving you, but as partners, equals." Amara's heart beat fast. "A life with me?" she asked softly. "Yes," he said, taking her hand. "Will you marry me?" Tears came to her eyes, not from shock, but because she felt truly seen and valued. She had spent her life invisible, surviving quietly. And now, here was someone who wanted to walk beside her. Yes," she whispered. Their marriage was simple, intimate, and full of love. Alexander never tried to change her or erase her past. Together, they started programs to help women like her, safe housing, education, and chances to rise above poverty. Amara's life changed, but more importantly, she learned that wealth alone is nothing without compassion. Kindness could bridge any world. Alexander, in turn, discovered the richness of life that money cannot buy: resilience, honesty, and love without conditions. Years later, they walked the same street where they first met. Amara noticed a young girl shivering in the cold. Without thinking, she went to her, giving her a warm coat and a smile. Alexander watched quietly, proud. He knew the true wealth was not in money or buildings, but in touching lives and giving hope. Amara knelt to the girl. "You are not invisible," she said gently. "You matter, and you deserve love and care." And in that moment, the girl's eyes shone with hope she thought she had lost. Amara's story spread quietly, not in newspapers or online, but in the lives she touched. She became a symbol of resilience, kindness, and the power of one human being to change another's world. And she never forgot the night a rich man saw her, not as a poor maid, but as someone with courage and a heart ready to love. Her life, once on cold streets and lonely nights, became proof that kindness, met with generosity and respect, could create miracles. And sometimes, the most beautiful love stories begin not in palaces, but on quiet streets where someone finally says, "You matter."